everybody, welcome back to Next Play Records. I'm Andy, and today I have part 2 of my Blue Note record collection videos, and this is going to be first half of my Tone Poet collection. So great music, great product, as I've said as all the times I've shown these. So I'm going to go through, I think today's going from Art Blakey through Andrew Hill, and then my next video will start with Bobby Hutcherson and go to the end of my Tone Poets. I do have a couple that are pre-ordered that are coming up, and I'll mention them in the video where their last name falls. So none of those in this video, so let's get started. First Tone Poet to show is a great one. This one was a wild session and very anticipated on my end just because of the lineup. But you got the Witch Doctor, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. Awesome. Lee Morgan, Art Blakey, Wayne Shorter, Bobby Timmons, Johnny Merritt. What a session we have here. And great, strict, fiery hard bop. Next one I have is Tina Brooks, The Waiting Game. This is one that I think a lot of people maybe passed on or overlooked. It's kind of hard to find. Unbelievable. One of my favorites. Tina Brooks, The Waiting Game. This would probably make my favorite, like top 15 or so. Johnny Coles on the trumpet, Kenny Drew on the piano, Wilbur Ware on the bass, Philly Joe Jones. I think I spun this a couple of days ago, posted on my Instagram. Absolutely love playing this one. Next Tone Poet I have is Tina Brooks, Minor Move. This one is top 10, probably. Unbelievable. Get this one if you can. I don't know that this has been repressed yet. I think Waiting Game has, but this one, which came out before Waiting Game, hasn't been repressed, so that I know of. But this lineup is one of the best. Tina Brooks, Lee Morgan, Sonny Clark, Doug Watkins on the bass, Blakey on the drums. So good. Love that one. I'll pick and choose a few to show the inner gatefold photos like I did on the Music Matters, but Kenny Burrell, introducing Kenny Burrell, beautiful. He is the most skilled, I think, jazz guitarist, and I might do a video later on comparing him and Grant Green, but we'll talk about that another time. Love this record. This is one I did pass on. I didn't get right when it came out, but I went and grabbed it as soon as I could after that. Introducing Kenny Burrell. And the lineup on here, I should know this. This is one of my brother's favorite Tone Poets that came out. But this is Kenny Burrell on guitar, Tommy Flanagan on the piano, Paul Chambers on the bass, Kenny Clark on the drums, and Candido on the conga drum. Very nice. Beautiful jazz guitar right there. Next one I have, Donald Byrd. Just played this one yesterday or the day before. Bird in Flight. This one is unbelievable. Jackie McLean and Hank Mobley swap. I think it was 2 different sessions that they combined for one on this album. Jackie McLean, Hank Mobley, Duke Pearson, Doug Watkins, Reginald Workman, Lex Humphreys. Very cool cover for Donald Byrd. Awesome, awesome session. Great Tone Poet release. Next one I have here, Donald Byrd Chant. Talked about this one a lot. And Pepper Adams, Herbie Hancock, Doug Watkins, and then Teddy Robinson on the drums. Let's look at the gatefold on this one. So we've got a classic Donald Byrd lineup. He loved all these guys that he used in this session. Great picture of Donald Byrd. There's Herbie Hancock, Donald Byrd and Pepper Adams, Doug Watkins. They made a great duo. This is a great lineup. Perfect for the style that Donald Byrd breaks out. A little more fiery than, I think, a little more fiery than Bird in Flight, but they're both awesome in their own way. Next one is Paul Chambers, bass on top. This is one that so hard to find before the Tone Poet came out, and one of a kind session because of the way the bass is leading and how many songs he puts the bow to the bass on. I love it. Awesome lineup again, as you can imagine, as most of y'all know. Kenny Burrell, Hank Jones on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, Art Taylor on the drums. This is one of my favorites, definitely a top 10. Grab this one if you can. Again, some of these are being repressed, some of them haven't. Some have been repressed and they're not available again. So if you can afford it, grab them. Grab some of these top-notch ones as soon as they're announced. Okay, here goes. Second stack. Second stack. Uh-oh, I've got it off. I had this out of order. I'm sorry, I skipped a good one. Good couple. What did I just do? Chambers? Oh yeah, no, not out of order. Okay, we are on one of my most anticipated because the lineup is sick. My Conception, Sonny Clark with Donald Byrd, Hank Mobley, Paul Chambers, and Oblique, of course. Love the cover. This one again, I think you can find it in a Japanese pressing. Just hard to find sessions. I love Tone Poets. That's their forte, right? Surprising us with some sessions we didn't know about. Can't get elsewhere hardly. So unbelievable lineup. Again, great strict hard bop. This is one of the most classic hard bop, perfectly executed albums in the Tone Poet line. Sonny Clark, My Conception. Next one we have Lou Donaldson, Mr. Shingling, one of those that was not a gatefold, but you know, late 60s soul jazz, beautiful. Lou Donaldson does it well. Ode to Billy Joe cover on here is awesome. The Humpback, Peeping Together. All these songs are very cool. This is a very cool session, soulful session. You got Blue Mitchell on the trumpet, Lou Donaldson on the sax, Jimmy Fats Ponder, Lonnie Smith on the organ, Leo Morse. Nice session. That was one of the earlier ones that was released as well. Next one. Dexter Gordon Clubhouse. I think this one was just recently repressed for the first time. So go get it if you haven't. The lineup's great. Freddie Hubbard, Barry Harris, Bob Cranshaw, Billy Higgins. And this is part of that awesome run with Blue Note that Dexter Gordon had. Let's look at the lineup, the photos on this one. I grabbed this one right away because I was in a Dexter Gordon streak there when this was coming out, so I was excited. Great picture right there with Alfred Lyon. Intimate moment. The rest of the band. Quality jackets. Can't beat these Tone Poets. Dexter Gordon, The Clubhouse. Next we have Dexter Gordon, One Flight Up, probably one of the best Tone Poets released. I had an 80s DMM pressing that I was fine with and loved. Replaced it with this when it came out. Gave that away as VCLT. But Tanya takes up the whole first side. Probably one of the best jazz songs I've ever heard. So grab this one if you can. He is accompanied by Donald Byrd, Kenny Drew, Niels Henning Orsted. Wait, sorry. Niels Henning Orsted Peterson and Art Taylor. Why'd they add Peterson? So they don't have Peterson, Niels Henning Orsted right there, but they don't have Peterson on the front, but it says Peterson on the back. But anyway, good lineup, very cool music, and one of the best jazz songs of all time takes up side one. Next one, Grant Green, Born to Be Blue. So good, so good. Ike Quebec kills it on here. Sonny Clark, Sam Jones, Lewis Hayes. Beautiful cover. Grant Green, just such a great career of sessions that he just led, but let these guys like Ike Quebec and Sonny Clark shine. There you go. This is Grant Green, great picture. There's some more Ike Quebec. Louis Hayes, Sam Jones. Sonny Clark. Born to Be Blue. They love Grant Green on the Tone Poet series, and as you can see, Nigeria, this one's so hard to find. Another session that was hidden for years, redone by Tone Poet perfectly with a new cover, and Sonny Clark, Sam Jones, Art Blakey. Great quartet. Very good. This is one of the best ones as well. I don't know that this one's been repressed. This one's pushing probably $70 median on Discogs right now. Herbie, Hancock, My Point of View, one of my favorites. Big old lineup, but just starting to get a little bit out there on this one, and it's really, really nice. Donald Byrd, Herbie Hancock, Granchen Marcoeur on the trombone. He always brings a special thing to sessions. Love this cover. Hank Mobley on here, Anthony Williams. This one's awesome. I don't know the status on this one either. If it's been repressed once, I don't see it very available right now though. So my point of view, Herbie Hancock, one of my top tone poets. Next, Andrew Hill, Black Fire. This was a gift from one of my best friends when he went to the West Coast. Grabbed me whatever tone poet he could when they first started coming out. This was an early release, but anything with Joe Henderson, obviously Andrew Hill kills it on here. Great lineup. Roy Haynes on the drums. Love this record. This again is starting to get experimental, a little bit out there, but just captivating music on here. And the last one for this section is Andrew Hill, Passing Ships. I've only gone 11 minutes, so I could grab the other half, but I'm not going to do it. You know what? I will. I'll go grab it, and I'll add it on to this, keep it at about 20 minutes. So Andrew Hill, Passing Ships. This was a double LP. Tons of great players on here. Great session. Again, starting to get out to the post-bop and freer side with Joe Farrell on here, Woody Shaw, Dizzy Reese, and Ron Carter, Lenny White. Awesome lineup, awesome session. Listen to this one before you buy it. Make sure you like it because it's different. It's not hard bop at all, but very good jazz music. Andrew Hill, Passing Ships. This one was the double LP. And I think when it first came out, it was the price of what they are now, upper 30s. But so you probably, if this one get repressed, you're probably looking at mid 40s to get this one. But great stuff. All right, I'll be back with the second half. Back with the second half of my tone poets. First one here, Bobby Hutcherson, the kicker, would be a top 5 for me because it is it's special. What Hutcherson does on the vibes leading this is awesome. Every song is just pulls you in. But the fact that Joe Henderson's on here, Grant Green's on here, Duke Pearson, Bob Cranshaw, Al Harewood, special session. And there's another reason. This was the first time this session was ever on vinyl. So Bobby Hutcherson, the kicker, is one of the top-notch releases that they've done. Sorry about that. Okay, next release we have is Bobby Hutcherson, Oblique, Herbie Hancock, Albert Stinson, who I've never seen on any other session that I've have in my collection. Joe Chambers on the drums, does an awesome job. This one not quite as good in my opinion as the kicker, but it's special in its own way. Herbie Hancock is a centerpiece of this one, and that might be why I love it so much. So Bobby Hutcherson, Oblique. Next we have is Jackie McLean, It's Time. One of the best cover designs. Great session. Charles Tolliver, Herbie Hancock, Cecil McBee, Roy Haynes. Love that Jackie McLean. That's a lot of people's favorite release from Jackie McLean and a lot of people's favorite artwork. It always baffled me to think back into the 60s when they were doing this, how they set all this up. You know, they didn't have computers to do all this. I'd like to see the process of how they got got everything lined up perfect, sized perfectly, printed. It's pretty amazing. Poppin', Hank Mobley. Here comes the Hank Mobley run where he was this is actually the only Hank Mobley lead tone poet that I have. I'm looking forward to the one coming out later this summer, Curtain Call, but this one's great. Art Farmer, Pepper Adams, Sonny Clark, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones. Another one of the best covers in the tone poet line. And let's check out the inner photos here. That looks like similar to the Soul Station photos there, but great picture of him and Sonny Clark. This one was recorded in 1957. Lee Morgan the Cooker, probably one of the top three. Also, this was one that was really hard to find until the Tone Poet line and Blue Note reissued it. It's like a Grail OG, obviously. Unbelievable session. A Night in Tunisia on here is one of the best versions of that song ever done. You got Lee Morgan, Pepper Adams, Bobby Timmons, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones. Starts off with A Night in Tunisia, Heavy Dipper, Lover Man, awesome songs. Let's look at the inside of this one too. Great picture of Lee and Pepper Adams. And some more of the rest of the lineup. Philly Joe Jones, Paul Chambers, Lee Morgan the Cooker. Next we have Lee Morgan Cornbread, Hank Mobley, Herbie Hancock, Jackie McLean, Larry Riley, Billy Higgins. This is one that's everybody should get. There's no way you would get this record and not like it. Everything is in your face, just beautiful playing by Lee Morgan, accompanied by Hank Mobley. I mean, can't beat that duo. That duo is kind of like Pepper Adams and Donald Byrd to me. They just go so well together. Lee Morgan again. The Raja with Hank Mobley again. That's what I meant by Mobley only getting popping, and then he comes in on all these Lee Morgan sessions that came out on Tone Poet. The Raja, fiery, starts to get a little bit more post-bop, and Cedar Walton on the piano, Paul Chambers, Billy Higgins with Hank Mobley and Lee Morgan. Beautiful. Next one I have, Wayne Shorter, etc., etc. Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Cecil McBee, Joe Chambers. This is one I passed on. This is one of the first ones that came out in the line. I didn't get it. I can't remember why, but I grabbed it in another way as soon as I could. This one is definitely post-bop, definitely more adventurous than most of them that have been released in Tone Poet. So grab this one if you like that post-bop, freer side of jazz. Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter together. Kill it on here. Next we have Wayne Shorter, All Seeing Eye. Now this one is free, avant-garde, whatever you want to call it, but it's special. It's he wrote it in a way that very spiritual. He even has in the liner notes, if you want to find them somewhere, I don't want to read them on here, but in the liner notes he talks about what each song comes from, like God's creation, All Seeing Eye, obviously, but good lineup here. You have Freddie Hubbard, Alan Shorter, his brother. You have Gretchen Marcoeur, James Spaulding, Wayne Shorter, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, Joe Chambers. Very nice release. This is great. This is another one of those classic hard bop that just in your face the whole time. Maybe one ballad on there that'll just, you'll feel it. You'll feel this music a lot. Horace Silver. This is a sleeper Horace Silver album, in my opinion. Further Explorations by the Horace Silver Quintet. The quintet is Art Farmer on the trumpet, Clifford Jordan on the sax, Horace Silver, Teddy Kotick on the bass, and Louis Hayes on the drums. A few more to go. Next one is Prayer Meeting, Jimmy Smith with Stanley Turrentine. This is soul jazz. It's got that gospel tinge to it, obviously, with the title of Prayer Meeting. Quentin Warren plays the bass on this one, and Donald Bailey on the drums. So it's a quartet, and it's awesome. You'll definitely feel this music as well. Next, we have one of my favorite soul jazz releases of all time, Stanley Turrentine, That's Where It's At. Les McCann, Herbie Lewis, Otis Finch, not big names in the Blue Note world, but perfect for this album. Just a couple of beautiful soul ballads. Also some, again, gospel infused soul jazz, up-tempo, mid-tempo swinging. I love this one. That's Where It's At, Stanley Turrentine. Next, we have Stanley Turrentine, Hustlin', very similar. He plays his wife plays the organ on this one, Shirley Scott. Kenny Burrell with the guitar. This one's up there too. A little more hard bop soul jazz, but they make a great team with his soulful saxophone and Shirley Scott on the organ. Good stuff, hustling. Next one we have is McCoy Tyner expansions. Obviously expansions, freer jazz, post bop. Awesome lineup that brings you, this is another one that wasn't a gatefold, but the lineup is Woody Shaw on trumpet, Gary Bartz on the wooden flute and alto sax, Wayne Shorter on the tenor sax, Ron Carter on the cello, McCoy Tyner on the piano, Herbie Lewis on the bass, Freddie Waits on the drums. Very good, expanding his vision of jazz, and got to have it in your collection to have that full range. It's a late 60s release. Don't know that for sure. 68. There you go. McCoy Tyner. 2 more to go, guys. McCoy Tyner Tender Moments. A lot of people love this one. One of the first ones that came out with the cover photo being in color. Great showing by Lee Morgan in a more of a post bop session, and Julian Priester on the trombone does an awesome job on this one. McCoy Tyner, Herbie Lewis, Joe Chambers, just great lineup. Benny Maupin on the tenor sax. Check that late 60s release out by McCoy Tyner. And the last one is soul, organ, jazz, Face to Face by Babyface Willette. Fred Jackson on the tenor sax. Grant Green on the guitar, Ben Dixon. This is, again, sleeper. Grab it, you'll love it. High energy, just a fun session. Awesome cover, and the only Babyface Willette in my collection. So there are my Tone Poets. I do have a pre-order for Sunny Red. I didn't get the ones that just came out, the Stanley Turrentine Rough and Tumble. I didn't order that one yet. I didn't love that session. Joe Pass for Django is the Pacific Jazz one that just came out. I didn't order that one, but I may get that one. I just didn't pre-order it. I think it's delivering sometime this week for people that did pre-order it. But hey, Out of the Blue Sunny Red coming in March. That'll be added to my collection next. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. The next one will just be normal releases and reissues, and I'll bring that maybe tomorrow or this weekend. So appreciate y'all stopping by. Till next time, keep spinning that next play.